Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at YouTube earnings in India.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing this using a video by Ankur Warikoo.
Okay.
He's a pretty popular Indian entrepreneur. And in this video, he's talking all about how YouTubers are making money in 2024.
I see. I see.
And, you know, even if you're not thinking about
Yeah.
starting a YouTube channel, I think this is really fascinating stuff just because it gives us a glimpse into the whole creator economy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just like how digital marketing works, how to engage an audience, and just like how to find your niche and all that good stuff.
That's a great point. And you know what's so interesting is that all of these principles, they apply whether you're on YouTube or you're building a website or you're just thinking about how to present yourself professionally.
Yeah, exactly. So Warikoo, in this video, he kicks things off talking about Mr. Beast,
Okay.
who is the world's #1 YouTuber, 280 million subscribers.
Wow.
Projected earnings of $700 million annually. That's over 850 crore.
That's insane.
I know, it's an insane amount of money.
But you know what's interesting about Mr. Beast is that he's constantly reinvesting those earnings into building multiple income streams, expanding his brand. It's less about like personal wealth for him and more about creating like a sustainable business empire, which I think is a key lesson for any aspiring YouTubers.
Yeah, it's not just about making a quick buck.
Exactly.
It's about like long-term strategy and growth.
Precisely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mr. Beast is setting the bar pretty high. What about in India? What's the Indian YouTube scene like?
Well, there's a lot of diversity, you know, in the Indian YouTube landscape. So you have creators like Khansur, who makes educational content. And then you have Labor Law Advisor, who focuses on, well, labor law.
Makes sense.
They both have millions of subscribers and are estimated to earn pretty substantial amounts.
So you've got like the creators catering to these massive audiences with broad appeal, and then you have the people who are carving out these successful niches. By targeting very specific needs, it makes you wonder about the different ways that YouTubers are actually making money. Is it all just about the ads that we see?
So actually, there's a lot more to it than just ads.
Okay.
Warikoo breaks it down into 4 key revenue streams. So let's start with ad revenue.
Okay.
Which is, you know, for many creators, that's the foundation. However, it's not as simple as just getting views. The amount that you earn is influenced by a ton of different factors, like the length of your videos. Longer content often leads to higher earnings because there's just more opportunities for ad breaks.
That makes sense.
Then you have viewer engagement, which is all about how many people are watching your videos all the way through, liking, commenting, subscribing. And then, of course, your content category plays a big role, too. Some niches are just naturally more profitable than others.
Okay, so there's a lot more nuance to ad revenue than I initially thought.
Yeah.
What about these other ways that YouTubers are making money?
So Warikoo talks about affiliate marketing, where creators earn commissions by promoting products or services through unique links in their video descriptions. He even gives some personal examples, you know, mentioning his partnerships with Zerodha, which is a stock trading platform, and Sony camera lenses.
So like those click the link below,
Exactly.
calls to action. It's a clever way for creators to generate some passive income.
Exactly. And usually it involves products that they genuinely use and believe in. Then you have direct sales. This is where things get really interesting. Creators can sell their own products or services, online courses, merchandise ebooks, even build full-blown brands like Mr. Beast's Feastables chocolate.
Oh yeah, those chocolate bars are everywhere. So a YouTuber could become a full-fledged entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
The potential with direct sales is huge, especially if you've built a loyal audience.
Okay, so we've got ads, affiliate marketing, direct sales. What's that 4th revenue stream?
Brand deals. This is where creators partner with companies to promote their products or services within their content. Warikoo mentions that he earns 435 crore annually through brand deals, even though he intentionally limits them.
That's serious money. It seems like there's a whole world of opportunity beyond just those pre-roll ads.
Definitely. Now, this is where Warikoo's insights get particularly interesting. He dives into the earning disparity between YouTube Shorts and long-form content.
Ooh, I'm all ears.
Which a lot of people are curious about these days. He reveals that despite the potential for massive viewership, Shorts generate significantly lower revenue compared to longer content. He uses his own dedicated Shorts channel as an example. Millions of views. But his earnings from that channel are just $3,500.
That's a huge difference. I wouldn't have expected such a gap between views and earnings for Shorts.
Yeah, it comes down to a few key factors. Integrating ads into short-form content is tricky. You don't want to disrupt the flow. With a long ad when someone's watching a 60-second video, longer videos allow for better ad integration, which leads to higher earning potential.
Makes sense.
Also, long-form content tends to encourage deeper engagement.
Yeah.
People are more likely to watch a 10-minute video explaining a concept than a 30-second clip.
Right.
And that higher engagement is something that advertisers are willing to pay a premium for.
So if someone wants to make a living on YouTube, focusing on long-form content seems to be the way to go. But Wariku also talks about finding the right niche.
Right. He does. He asks a really interesting question. Which search term gets more hits on Google?
Okay.
Virat Kohli or car insurance?
I'd guess Virat Kohli. He's a global cricket superstar.
That's what most people would think. But car insurance actually has a much higher search volume.
Really?
He uses this example to highlight the difference between content that simply informs, like Virat Kohli news, and content that leads to purchases like car insurance.
So informational versus transactional content.
Exactly. And if you're creating content in a niche that's geared towards transactions, like finance or e-commerce, you're more likely to command higher ad rates and make more money.
That's a really insightful point. It seems like niche selection is crucial for success on YouTube.
Well, absolutely. And it's not just about picking the right niche. It's about figuring out how to present your content in a way that resonates with people.
This is making me think about what unique knowledge or perspective I could offer. If I were to start a channel,
Exactly.
it's all about finding that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Where your passion, your expertise, and your audience needs all intersect. This has been so eye-opening. What else does Wariku have to say about finding your niche and building a successful YouTube presence? So finding your niche, it's kind of like finding that perfect recipe. You've got your passion, you've got your expertise, and then like the secret ingredient the audience needs.
That's a great analogy. And speaking of recipes, you know, even the best chefs, they need time to perfect their dishes.
Yeah.
Waritu actually suggests a 2-year commitment.
Wow.
And a solid financial foundation before diving into YouTube full-time.
That makes a lot of sense because building a successful channel, it doesn't happen overnight.
No.
You need that dedication. And having that financial safety net, I think, can really alleviate some pressure, especially in those early stages.
Absolutely.
It frees you up to really focus on creating quality content without constantly worrying about paying the bills.
Exactly. And it allows you to experiment, find your voice, and really build that connection with your audience.
A lot of people might be listening to this and thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but isn't the YouTube space already super crowded?
Right.
Like, how can anyone new even break in? Does Wariku address that concern?
He does, and his perspective is actually quite encouraging.
Okay.
He points out that over 500 million Indians access YouTube every single month.
Wow, that puts things in perspective.
Right. Even the biggest Indian YouTubers have subscriber counts.
Yeah.
That are just a fraction of that total potential audience. So there's definitely room for growth.
So the fear of a saturated market shouldn't be a deterrent.
Exactly. It's not about being the first. It's about finding your unique angle and connecting with your audience authentically.
You know, he really emphasizes that you are your content's niche.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on what he means by that?
He's essentially saying that your unique perspective, your experiences, your way of storytelling, all of that combined is what sets you apart. He uses his own entry into the personal finance space as an example, which is a field with some very well-established creators.
So it's like saying, even if there are 100 people talking about the same topic, there's always room for one more voice as long as it's authentic and engaging.
Precisely. It's not about reinventing the wheel. It's about finding your own spin.
But how do you actually do that? How do you make sure that your content stands out?
Well, Wariku offers some really insightful advice on that front. He talks about the importance of understanding your target audience. Who are you trying to reach? What are their interests? What are their pain points? Once you have a clear understanding of your audience, you can start crafting content that directly addresses their needs and resonates with them on a deeper level.
So it's not just about talking about what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
It's about making sure that what you're passionate about actually aligns with what your audience is looking for.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where your passion and their interests intersect.
Okay, this is all starting to make sense now.
Yeah.
You got to find your niche, understand your audience, and then craft your content in a way that's both engaging and informative.
And don't forget about consistency.
Oh, right. Consistency.
Wariku stresses the importance of uploading content regularly, whether it's once a week or 3 times a week. Find a schedule that works for you and stick to it. Your audience will come to expect new content from you, and that consistency will help you build a loyal following.
Okay, so consistency is key, but what about quality? How do you make sure that your content is actually good?
Well, WorryQ has some thoughts on that as well. He encourages creators to focus on producing high-quality videos, both in terms of content and production value.
Clear.
Invest in a good microphone and camera. Learn some basic editing skills. Put effort into making your videos visually appealing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
People are more likely to watch and engage with content that looks and sounds professional.
Right. But it's not just about the technical aspects. WorryQ also emphasizes the importance of storytelling.
Okay.
Even if you're creating educational content, find ways to weave in narratives, personal anecdotes, case studies that will make your content more compelling and memorable.
So it's about finding that balance between information and entertainment.
Exactly.
You want to teach people something, but you also want to keep them entertained.
And WorryQ himself is a great example of this. He's able to break down complex financial concepts in a way that's both informative and engaging.
This deep dive is giving me a whole new appreciation for the amount of work that goes into creating successful YouTube content. It's not just about pointing a camera and talking. It's about strategy planning and execution.
It is, and it's about being willing to learn and adapt. The YouTube landscape is constantly changing, so you need to be flexible and willing to try new things. WorryQ actually encourages creators to experiment with different content formats.
Okay.
Collaborate with other YouTubers, and stay up to date on the latest trends.
It's all about staying ahead of the curve.
Exactly, and I think what's really inspiring about WorryQ's message is that he believes that anyone can succeed on YouTube if they're willing to put in the work.
So let's say someone is listening to this and they're feeling inspired. They've got a great idea for a channel. They've identified their niche. They're ready to start creating content. What's WorryQ's advice for actually getting started?
Well, he emphasizes the importance of taking action. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just start creating.
Yeah, it's like that famous saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
Exactly. And when it comes to YouTube, the more content you create, the more you learn and the better you become.
So it's a continuous process of growth and improvement.
It is, and I think that's what makes the creator economy so exciting. It's a space where anyone with a passion and a willingness to learn can potentially find success.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful. We've covered so much ground, from understanding the different revenue streams to the importance of niche selection, content strategy, and consistency.
It's been quite a journey, and I think what's most striking is that even if you have zero interest in becoming a YouTuber, understanding this landscape offers valuable insights into the broader trends that are shaping the digital world.
Absolutely. We're talking about the rise of the creator economy, the power of niche audiences, and the ever-evolving ways that people are connecting, consuming content, and even building businesses online. It's a reminder that the digital landscape is constantly changing, and staying informed about these shifts can be incredibly valuable, regardless of your field or interests.
Couldn't agree more. And remember, whether you're a seasoned content creator or just starting to explore the possibilities, the most important ingredient is your unique voice and perspective.
Before we wrap up, WorryQ leaves viewers with a really thought-provoking question.
He does, and it's one that I think is worth pondering regardless of whether you have aspirations to become a YouTuber or not.
Okay. Tell me, what's the question?
He asks, if you were to start a YouTube channel, what niche would you choose and why? What unique angle could you offer that would make people want to watch?
That's such a good question. It makes you think about what you're passionate about, what you're good at, and what kind of value you could offer to an audience.
And it highlights the importance of authenticity. You know, in a world of endless content, it's the genuine voices, the unique perspectives that truly stand out.
This has been a fantastic deep dive. We've learned about Mr. Beast's incredible success, explored the diverse Indian YouTube landscape, and unpacked practical advice for aspiring creators.
We've gone from mind-boggling earnings figures to actionable tips on finding your niche and crafting compelling content.
I feel like I've gained a whole new understanding of how the YouTube ecosystem works.
Me too. And I think what's most inspiring is that it really shows the power of individual creativity and entrepreneurship in the digital age.
Well, a huge thank you to our listeners for joining us on this deep dive into the world of YouTube earnings in India. We hope you've walked away with some new insights, some food for thought, and maybe even a spark of inspiration to explore your own creative potential online.
It's been a pleasure diving into this topic with you. And remember, whether you're a seasoned content creator or just starting out, the most important thing is to keep learning, keep creating, and keep sharing your story with the world.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.